Well, good morning here from the UK. I am delighted to have, for the first time on my channel, someone, John, I have wanted to get you on and interview you for absolutely ages. Sorry it's taken so long, but I've got the amazing John White, who is real expert on frequencies and healing frequencies. And today we're going to be talking about something that's really close to my heart, because something as a holistic therapist that I've been using for well over 10 years, working with humans and animals, which is basically cold laser. So we're going to explain more about this as we go through. But before we do that, John, can you just introduce yourself? I'm sure a lot of my listeners have seen you, particularly talking with Mark Atwood and things, but can you just introduce yourself to my audience and tell us a bit about your work with frequencies in general?
Well, I've been through formal education with regards to electronics, electrical, computers, programming, and biological applications of these. But really, my education started through necessity. I lost my grandparents through disease, and I felt at that time very helpless. And that was the drive for me to just dig further, go beyond what we are taught in formal education, and find out the real truth. I didn't feel comfortable going to a doctor and getting my 15 or 20 minutes of fame and then being forgotten about until next time I'm feeling sick. I'd rather have a doctor that I'd pay if I was sick, if I was well, rather than if I was sick. Then their hearts will be into
Yeah.
making sure that I'm never there. But really, what it boils down to, Catherine, is we are our best doctors. We have to live with our own pain, physical or even emotional. It's us that feels it, and we know ourselves best. And I'm not saying you shouldn't see a doctor. What I'm saying is, between times, you can hit things on the head before they get too large, and also you can go through the learning process and understand more about your body and how you can live a healthier and longer life. So I, I became interested in frequency research, and particularly for health, when my grandparents died. I've been applying it since then, learning both formally and informally, degrees in university, and then really my real learning started from there.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing the things you aren't taught, really. You aren't taught about nutrition. Doctors aren't taught about nutrition either. You're not taught about interesting fields that are very applicable for controlling diseases, like plasma. We're taught that states of matter can be solid, liquid, or gas. Well, there's the plasma one as well. There's more plasma than the other three combined in the entire universe. It's just crazy things like this, and I'm starting to think, just why aren't we taught things that are appropriate, things that we need in life, rather than sums, algebra, and economics, and all this other nonsense? Really, it's you can go through all your, go through your life. You can have your degrees and everything behind you, but they're worthless if your life is in pain. And you've got no tools to restore your health. So, okay, I started looking at what was in the market, and what I saw was very, very disappointing, Catherine. Yeah, there's a lot of people that sell health giving appliances, some good, some bad, some ugly, and they're expensive. Like, they are just absolutely unaffordable, and for most people's pockets, they're just beyond reach. So I decided, well, I'll make a change. Okay, here we go. Promise. I will deliver products which are the best in the world and that are affordable in the world. So my personal focus, and the personal focus of the company, which is Mirrormate or Spooky 2 or Hiwi, got 3 companies now, is to provide the absolute best products at the absolute lowest price without compromising on performance in any way or quality. So we started producing products. I am a New Zealander. I'm told I have an accent. I now live in China. I've got my family here. Why in China? Well, I kind of got chased out of New Zealand. I was investigated at one time and put under pressure to close down my clinic. I had a cancer clinic there. And this tremendous obstacles placed always in front of me. So I decided, no, I'm going to lift my anchors and see where I drift. At that particular point in time, I did source most of my equipment from China, not because of the cheap cost, but because China is actually more open than Western countries in some areas. Okay, granted, most perhaps not, but in one area which is important to me is the openness China is to alternative medicines or treatments. Things like acupuncture or cupping or using pulsed EMF or even Rife treatments. It's blasé here, that's normal. For every Western clinic, there'll be a traditional Chinese clinic as well. So I didn't get any pressure here to close shop or to force myself to close down. As it was more open, so I could focus on products, which I have done since coming here. It's been great. The things that we've produced now are absolutely amazing. We've produced pretty much the whole spectrum of health-giving type therapy devices, I've got to call them. But it's really good. I only wish that I had this the choice of devices around when my grandparents were still here, because I know that they'd have extended the lives of them and also given them a better quality of life. And they're affordable, because I can go straight to the factory, straight to the mother vein and get things, the best top quality, whatever, at the right price. And because my interest isn't really in profit, I pass it on to the lucky consumer, the buyers. As a company, we are purely focused on raising humanity, both on an individual level, so it can be our customers' health and well-being, but also the greater community. So we have charities that we have set up, registered charities, and we support other charities internationally. And we, for every sale that we make, we contribute into the charities. And it's not just hearsay. It's not like 0.01% or whatever. It's a great portion of the sale of the product. And considering we don't make much profit anyway, yes. I think we do okay. When you think about it, Catherine, in my immediate family, in my lineage, if you like, I'm the only family member in China. There's no one that relies on me as an income, so I don't need to gather wealth and have a tremendous amount of things to call my own. And so I live frugally. Oh, well, that's actually not quite true. I've got 3 bicycles.
That's why you look so fit, John.
Pardon?
That's why you look so fit, because you've got bicycles rather than...
I love riding bicycles. I love it. I don't like running so much. I'm a
horse person. I've got my horse down the garden, my lovely ponies.
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, so I love riding bicycles, but that connection with a horse is so special. Yeah.
When I was living in Whangarei in New Zealand, Whangarei as I'm supposed to call it, we lived next to a pony club, and the horses there are bonded with so closely. They come to me and I breathe in their nostrils. I know the warmth of a horse's friendship, or even an animal's friendship. Where I am now, okay, there's not many horses, but
Dogs on
there's,
the sofa. I've got one on the sofa there and one on the rug in front of the sofa.
oh gosh, they've got a hard life, haven't they?
Yeah.
They're working hard as we speak. Well, we've got a lot of feral cats around us, so I support them. I don't like to see them suffering, and now we're thundering into winter. So it's even more important that I feed them and provide the boxes out there for them to have shelter. You know, it's animals are as important as us. Okay, they're not as clever, or some of them probably are more clever, really. But
Yes, that's another discussion that I love.
Yeah. But I mean, animals have souls, and they certainly have feelings, and they certainly feel loss. And part of my belief system is to not take lives and also help lives that are around me. Each month, our whole company, or pretty much the whole company, releases live animals into rivers. They donate from their own wages, so they get blessings from releasing the fish and the shellfish and the eels and things into the rivers.
Beautiful.
Yeah, just things like this, the way, the mindset of the people around me. Isn't it funny how once you set your life path a certain way, you tend to gravitate like-minded people. And that's what's happened here within the company and within our friends. I never knew that I would ever be surrounded with such good people. In our company, honestly, we've got beautiful golden souls here, just amazing people.
And that vibration, I mean, I used to have my own up until 2020. I had I've had loads of different careers, but one of my passions is herbal medicine and natural products. And so I had a lovely company that I sold in 2020 doing all herbs, essential oils, clays, etc. And the vibration of the people in the company is so important to transfer, because everyone who touches that product or is energetically attached to it anyway is sharing the vibration of it and the frequency of it into the collective field. Do you think?
I think that's absolutely correct. With every product that we sell, we sort of smother it with love.
Yes.
Inside the unit, we have the Ho'oponopono healing phrase. I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. We engrave it on the print circuit boards, or we emboss it into the cases. We don't tell the people this. So just keep it between yourself and me.
We won't tell anyone. Yeah.
and I mean, the whole workplace is a very, very happy workplace here. It's very happy. We encourage the staff to not eat meat, so we provide free lunches for them. So in the gathering before that time, they were happy and talking away and were excited for this free food. And everything about this place is just really wonderful. So when people receive the product, we hope that they get the warmth from our company.
You really do. I mean, I'm going to talk more about this in a minute. I'll take it off and show people I do it, but it's so true what you say, John. You with all your products, and I'm hoping I'll be able to persuade John to come back and do a little series on all his different products, because they are all equally amazing in different ways. But I'm a biologist and a holistic health practitioner, and I work with animals and humans. I do prefer it if the person I'm working, if the creature I'm working with has got a tail, then I'm really happy. But I'm quite happy to work with tailless beings as well. But I have been working with low level laser, which we're going to get onto, folks, in a minute, for well over 10 years. And the beauty of working with animals, John, is that every single animal is so in tune with their intuition, with frequency, with energy. And yes, a lot of us humans are, but the animals, in my opinion, take it to a completely different level. So I've worked with low-level light therapy, and I'm trained to work on acupoints and meridians. I've worked with elephants in the orphanage in Zambia, with horses, with dogs, with cats, with guinea pigs, with goldfish, with plants. And the beauty I love is with animals, the response is not from the ego at all or from the thinking mind at all. Yes, of course, they're picking up the intent from the human that's working with them. So there is that energy exchange, but you don't get a placebo in the same way you can with humans. Not that there's anything wrong with placebo, I'm all for it. But the animals give you such a true reaction. And when you work with the low-level lasers with animals, the response is instantaneous and so powerful, because all of us, of whatever species we are in modern times bombarded by a lot of different stressors on our system. So our beautiful bodies and minds and souls are naturally always trying to come back to homeostasis, to balance. But unfortunately, there's a lot of other influences coming in on us that are equally trying to push us out of balance. So for me, the low-level light therapy, you know, light is one of the universe's greatest resources, and using it for such healing qualities just makes complete sense to me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I love it. And your units are just amazing, absolutely amazing. Should we go? You've got a little presentation to show us about this unit, and I'm going to be asking questions. Now, I know I'm not meant to shine to the camera, so I'll do it quickly to the things. But there's different lights on this, guys. We've got the red, the blue, the green, and the yellow. And we're going to explain to you a little bit about this as we go through the presentation, because my unit, John, is never out of use. There's always one of our members of the family that's wearing it. And I can be wearing this when I'm on my dog walk. It's amazing. So talk us through.
Okay, well, this is a PowerPoint that we've prepared. It gives a brief overview of 2 of our cold laser products. What you see there is a cold laser wrist. Okay, right from the beginning now, what is cold laser therapy? It's basically low power laser light. People are familiar with lasers and they're for surgery, I suppose. Surgery lasers are quite high power, but low level light therapy, which is using laser, is generally around 5 or 7, definitely 10 watts or milliwatts or less. It's called cold laser because the power intensity is not enough to heat a tissue. So it's a very, very low and very safe level laser. You say you didn't want to shine it in the camera or in your eyes. Actually, the lasers that we use, you can, but we still use the blanket warning of don't. But just putting people's minds at ease, you can't burn your retina using 5 or 7 milliwatt lasers, which is what our lasers are. But just as a general blanket precaution, and we even give glasses, protective glasses, just as a warning, just as a precaution, I should say.
And I would just add to that, because we're going to talk about the pads later on, but I've been working with the red light therapy pads for quite some while, and my animals will choose to come and lie on them and be by them, and I've never, quite the opposite, damage. But because we're on a public platform, we have to give every possible safety advice. Absolutely. Which is why we say that, but no panic, folks.
Okay, so how does it work? Now, the wavelengths at a low power level are shone directly to the problem area, and the body tissue absorbs the light. The wavelengths cause a biological reaction, and that reaction promotes cellular regeneration. On a technical level, the laser light energizes the mitochondria that's within your cells, which is like the batteries within your cells, and that gives your cells enough energy to recover from injury or just to restore the health. The general wavelength that is used for cold lasers is between 600 and 700 nanometers, but you can go to longer wavelengths for deeper penetration. Okay, and what is cold laser therapy good for? Blood circulation. Now, this is actually extremely important. It's not just making the blood flow faster through your body. It's much more than that. you think about the functions of your blood. Your blood's got to deliver oxygen, okay? It's also got to remove the waste products. If your blood's not flowing freely and there's pockets in your body where the blood is not circulating well at all, the cells will be lacking in oxygen and collecting more waste products, which is sounding very much like a precursor to cancer and other diseases. So cold laser is wonderful as a safeguard against. If you think you haven't got cancer, then it's a fantastic device to use if you want to keep it that way. But if you have already got inflammation, cold laser helps to unblock all your lymphatic systems and keep your T cells in check. Because
well, sorry, John, can I just add to that to people? Obviously, sure. At the moment, I'm being very careful on this platform what I'm talking about, but there's a lot of people that are very well aware that there can be certain interventions, medical interventions, that can have some side effects that affect the flow of the blood, etc. And these things are, I can actually vouch for the working. Within the next couple of weeks, I'm doing an interview with a friend of mine who is a naturopath who specializes in live blood analysis. And I've got some examples of my blood to show, and these things really, really do work. So one of the main reasons I wanted to ask John to join us today is because I strongly believe that it doesn't matter what stage you're starting from, these devices can have a massive impact on your health, either both preventatively or if you have an existing challenge that you're wanting to look at the moment.
That's absolutely right. Now, my personal fitness is very high. I ride my bicycle a lot, and I've been on a desert marathon. Boy, that was a killer. And other things. I don't worry about things like this. I'm very physically fit, but yet before using this cold laser wrist, I took a blood sample and looked at it under a dark field microscope, and the cells were clumped together and they had spikes on them, and the spikes, they look kind of like how the COVID spikes are, but not so sticking out so far. And I thought, that looks bad. I thought I was really healthy. And then I applied 20 minutes of cold laser, which is one cycle of the cold laser wrist. And then I looked again, and the cells looked like how they do now. They're textbook round and plump with a dimple in the center. After just one single 20-minute treatment time. So that really surprised me. This was using the prototype, and that's when I decided, right, I've got to go and make this a real product that we can help other people with their health as well. So anybody, as you say, Catherine, with you're a top athlete, in fact, even especially if you're a top athlete and you want to have peak performance, definitely this is the device you do want to be using. I mean, it can be our cold laser device. It can be someone else's cold laser device. I won't say that ours is the best, because I'm not a salesperson, and B, it's really up to the person themselves. But I can tell you that our products have got the love poured into it. They are top quality, and they're the best value for money.
Yeah.
Okay, physical pain as well. If you've got acute pain through bruising or whatever, you can throw on a cold laser device where the pain is, and it'll accelerate the healing and reduce the pain. Pain reduction is quite fast. Accelerating healing, it's about 300% faster than normal, which is quite profound, especially when you consider that it's not just on the skin where you've injured yourself. It can be in the joint itself, which is quite deep. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on. And general tissue repair, that can be skin or subcutaneous as well, where your cells, your body has sustained an injury, and your body's working as hard as it can itself to repair itself. We just give it a bit of a helping hand, give these cells a bit of a recharge, so your body gets healthier faster. No one likes to be sick. Okay, now this is our cold laser wrist X. This is our device that you're wearing yourself, Catherine. It looks like an oversized watch. It is a cool little unit. It just wear it on your wrist. You wear it the opposite way that you'd wear a watch. So you'd wear it on this side here. The artery underneath passing through your wrist gets all the blood passing through there gets irradiated by the cold laser, and over a 20-minute cycle, all the blood in your body has passed through at least 3 times under that point, and so your blood gets purified. Now, it also the lights where the lights are located under the cold laser wrist. It's where there are some meridian points. I'll be just discussing them a little bit later. I might as well tell you about them now, because I don't think the PowerPoint talks about it. Now the acupoints in this area here are really for your lower body. So it's your urinal tract system, it's your lower back, your prostate, uterus, the reproductive organs, and your legs. They've all got the meridians in this area here, and all that is all those points have the cold laser shining on them. Okay. Now there's several different light colors that are used for cold laser wrist, and they've all got different functions. Now the red laser light is for the blood purifying. Now for blood purifying, LEDs don't cut it, and I'll be showing a journal just a little bit later, a paper that was written, a meta study, which explains why. So I won't go into much detail right now. So the red laser lights are for blood purifying, and they've got 3 different colors of LEDs. There's blue LEDs for disinfection, there's a green LED which boosts the immune system, and the yellow one for improving metabolism. Those 3 functions don't need a coherent light. Blood purifying does. Okay, it shows how it's used there. There's one accessory which you can use for putting cold laser light up into your sinuses. In your sinuses, you've got very exposed blood vessels. And many people, the blood vessels are thin-walled, and they get blood noses if they exert themselves, get too hot, or blow their nose too often. But you can apply the cold laser right where your capillaries are up there. There's also the main unit which irradiates your wrist area, which is the whole body blood flow. And there's also an accessory for putting cold laser through into your ear canal. Now that's very close to your brain, and also you've got a good blood supply going around the canal where your eardrum is. And so really for if you want to apply cold laser for tinnitus or other kind of injuries for which your ears may have, or you want to treat your brain, the closest and best you can do is through your ears. Nose is a close second best. If you have sinus issues, cold laser in your sinuses are fantastic. The cold laser does kill viruses. Or maybe I'm not supposed to say that, but it's a little bit late now. Okay, now we've got some testimonials. We've moved a lot of our testimonials to Yotpo, which I hadn't heard about until just a few days ago. And people can go to the website. You can see at the bottom there the reviews link to all the reviews that are there. These are the 3 examples of people that have purchased the cold laser products and found great benefit. Cold laser is one of the best studied types of treatments around, both cold laser and pulse EMF. And I recommend people to look at peer-reviewed journals rather than just doing Google searches. If you search through in Google, you're getting points of view back, people's opinions, and you're not getting facts. It's best to go to the heart of the matter and find out for yourself, well, actually, this paper, which is written by a real scientist who's wearing probably a white coat, found this and this and this. And you've got to, of course, be careful that the review isn't sponsored by one of those other companies with the letters. But yeah, okay. So we've got another cold laser product, and this is our fantastic light pad, this unit here. Inside this unit are 36 cold lasers, which is why it feels quite heavy. It puts out an enormous amount of cold laser photons in quite a large area. If you have bruising, this is an excellent unit to use because it gives a uniform LED coverage of the damaged area. 36 cold lasers, that's an awful lot of them. Included in these red LEDs, red cold lasers, I should say, are 3 very special deep penetrating lasers. Those ones help for deep joint issues, and they penetrate quite far. And so this is ideal for joint pain, lower back pain, yeah, a lot of issues. It's even great for hair restoration because cold laser invigorates cells again. The hair follicles wake up and out of their dormant state and start pushing out the cuticles again. Cold laser's got a broad spectrum of applications. It's one of the few devices I'd recommend everyone to buy, either ours or some other manufacturer. It doesn't really matter, but cold laser for sure, so long as it is laser, because it's just inarguably the best way to keep healthy and maintain your quiescent fitness.
One of the ones I love it so much, John, sorry to interrupt, is because what this is doing is it's really just giving your body the extra energy that might have been depleted because it's dealing with all these other issues to do the job itself. So I'm so for substances or products that are using the body's innate ability, which in my opinion is far better than anyone can invent, to heal itself. And what this is doing is just giving your body back what's really been taken away by today's stressors.
Yes, well, we're not getting enough natural sunlight for a start. I mean, offices, even if it's got large windows, quite often the windows are curtained and they've got the fluorescent lighting there, you know, so you've got copious amounts of the wrong type of light, the blue light, which keeps you awake at night. There's so many things that are unnatural now. And so, yeah, that's right. Cold laser is just providing what your body needs, what it was made to do, keep well. No body was designed to be sick. Our own intelligence is making ourselves sick.
Yeah.
And so, for sure, a cold laser should be in everybody's emergency cupboard. Absolutely. Ours or any. And okay, the light pad comes with a strap, so you can still use it on your wrist if you like, or your waist, or your stomach, or anywhere. And it just recharges from a regular USB cable. So if there's any USB port on your computer or USB adapter, you just plug it into there. Comes with a manual. Not that it needs much to say. You just turn it on and it's away. but it has. The wrist, for example, has got a flash mode as well, and you can set the duration, things like this. You can do that, or you can just turn it on and then start and just run it with the default settings, which is what I do.
Yeah.
It's best not to be too clever, right? Life is too complicated. Yeah. So these, oh yeah, and products reviews on the light pad as well. This person used it for their knee, and it's amazing. No more pain. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Must have been someone from the UK, right? To say the word brilliant.
Yeah.
And yeah, knee pain and shoulder pain. So all of the testimonials here are for joint pain. And the third one, the X-ray showed osteoarthritis. And now the person, Jerry, is back to normal. And they've been using, okay, the magic coils, that's a different device, and light pad. So, okay, that's another device that we haven't covered, which we probably won't be covering today, but in conjunction with this thing, and maybe even this thing alone could have alleviated the pain that Jerry had. I mean, Jerry could, osteoarthritis may not reduce his lifespan, but as sure as anything will reduce his life quality. Now, I don't want to live a long age in pain. I want to live a long life in happiness,
Yes,
free to do what I
absolutely.
want. And so, you know, devices like this are very, very important. So, yes, I do recommend people have a look at this review site and don't just take my word for it. Read the reviews, which were straight from the people. They haven't been edited in any way. Yeah. Okay, so that's the end of this presentation.
Brilliant. So, oh,
What's happened?
what's happened? My whole Zoom's just disappeared. Can you see?
I can see you.
Can you hear me? Sorry, my whole computer, when you switch that off, that's really weird. My whole computer just sort of went, right. Yeah, that was really weird. There's some weird things happening with Zoom at the moment. Can you see me okay?
Yes, I can see you. I never lost you. It's probably something my end. It normally is.
It's really weird. It hasn't happened. So a couple of questions for just that I think my audience would find useful.
Right.
What testing do you do as a company to make sure, because there's so many different products of so many different price ranges out there. I've been researching this for years, and I know there's a lot of products out there that don't do what they say they do. So can you just give us a little bit of details of the testing that you do to ensure that it's safe and it's working at the frequencies that you say they are?
You've got to work, when you're dealing with safety, you've got to work from the very beginning. So everything from the battery to the laser components to the full production, everything with components and everything, has got to be not counterfeit. It's got to be the real products, and there's a lot of counterfeit products out there. So our components, about 99% we source from America, because we found, you know, good or bad, that American products are legitimate. We ask for certification for everything, even from the products from America. They state their ISO 900X. Well, okay, they say it. It's just the sales talk. Let's see the certificate. Let's get the certificates. Let's get signatures on the paper to verify that every single component from every single batch is what they say it is. We want to know that this product isn't going to have a product failure after 3-5 years, like they almost always do of other manufacturers. We want to know that the light level intensity of the cold lasers isn't going to diminish over time, which again, most other suppliers do, because they focus on the wrong thing. They focus on, oh, that supplier's a little bit cheaper, let's gravitate to them, rather than quality. So we do demand the absolute top quality components. Once we have these components and we do the manufacturing on our side, we've got the very tight control at every single step of the manufacturing process. We do quality control checks, torture tests, you name it, we do it, to make sure that the products aren't going to fail. It's like you don't want to have a lifeboat that you throw out and it sinks.
Yes.
You want something which floats, and it doesn't just float now, but floats when you need it. And I guess like anybody else, you know, I've become very wary of buying from countries which have got bad reputations, and China is one of them too. And our products are made in China. But okay, as a Westerner, it's above Western standards how we make our products. I can't talk about other companies, but I can certainly talk about ours. Our quality standards are well above what other manufacturers would regard as normal.
Yeah.
So we are very, very serious on quality. We're also very serious on building the devices that actually do what they're supposed to do. I want to share with you an article which was written in 2017. It's rather telling about the mindset of manufacturers that are in the field of low level light therapy and other kind of products. So I was wondering if I could share my screen again. I'll try not to.
Do. No.
Okay, let's have a look.
Get you back if not.
Okay, can you see that now?
Yes.
It's only lasers can be used for low level laser therapy. Now, there are a lot of products that use LEDs in lieu of laser. These companies say, look, LEDs are more powerful, and they might hold a piece of paper up, and so you can see very easily that an LED shines easier through the paper than a laser, and they regard that as proof that laser is inferior to LED. And they say that you can go to higher power LED safer than laser, which is actually true. And that they say is a big bonus. And they say you don't need to have protection glasses, which is true. But I just wanted to go through this paper. Now, this person, he is he works for the State Scientific Center of Laser Medicine in Moscow, Russia. Now, Russia is at the forefront of laser therapy.
Absolutely.
And he is one of the top scientists there. He has done a macro study of, let's see, between 1973 and 2016 of thousands of real studies on the effectiveness and use of LEDs and cold laser. And he's combined it all into this one paper. And I could sort of sense a bit of his frustration, which I also have, because I'm technical enough to know that many of the things which people purport as being advantages are actually grave disadvantages. But I've actually highlighted a few things in his report which are important. Now, in all studies, not most, in all studies in which the comparison is carried out, comparing laser, cold laser with LED, when it's carried out correctly and close parameters of the impact and the model are used, have a firm conclusion that laser light is much more effective. This is comparing it to LED. Okay, now further, he says, now he goes into quite a few technical things, and he's a gentleman that knows his stuff. He states that one of the problems that hinders the development of low-level laser therapy nowadays is the use of other light sources instead of lasers. He's talking about LEDs. He's talking about incandescent lamps with filters in the front.
Yeah.
He discusses a bit the economics. Lasers are more expensive than LEDs. I could throw, if I made this using LEDs, it'll just sell for peanuts. And it'll be easier to make. Anyone with a, you know, with a high school, who's passed through high school can make an LED device. But cold lasers are very, very different in their effectiveness. In this graph, it shows the wavelengths that are emitted using a regular lamp using a LED, and look how sharp a cold laser is. It's razor sharp.
I had to learn this when I was doing all my research years ago on this, and it's completely different. You need that focused wavelength to know what you're getting.
That's right.
You know, we all know that certain frequencies and wavelengths of light can be harmful to the body. So this is why it's really important to use a device where you can prove what you're using to make sure that it is only doing good, not doing harm.
He goes on, the main property of laser light is its monochromicity, where there's only one wavelength in the entire spectrum. And this is what determines its higher efficiency.
Yeah.
Unachievable, not difficult. It's actually unachievable for other light sources. It's not possible.
Yeah.
This is why he's used that word specifically. And lasers appeared to be a fundamentally more effective instrument to achieve a therapeutic effect than other light sources, which determine the emergence of the qualitatively new direction of phototherapy, low-level laser therapy. So this is why low-level light therapy is really very, very different from LEDs. And he talks a bit about the applications of low-level light therapy for blood illumination. It can affect the deep tissues and organs, help organs that are immunocompetent, the nerve nodes, which is really, we're talking about the cold laser wrist that does that, and also the transcranial technique where you place it on your skull. It's a cold laser is very, very different from LEDs. If some product has got LEDs, almost without a doubt, is for economic reasons.
Yeah.
So they can charge same amount as other devices, but get more profit, which I don't really feel comfortable about. Now, this is the conclusion. This is from the top scientists from the top country with cold laser research. Thus, non-laser light sources, lamps with or without filters, LEDs with or without a polarizer, etc., cannot be used in low-level laser therapy because of their minimal efficiency. Obviously, LEDs have their niche in a vast field of light therapy. For example, they're very successfully used in photodynamic therapy. Ultraviolet LEDs have a good, bactericidal effect. But to expect clinical effects similar to those obtained precisely in low-level laser therapy using laser light from them may be a waste of time.
Yeah.
So that's it. If you get the same benefits from an LED as standing outside in the glorious sunshine, which is not bad. It's not bad. But for specific biological function, you need to have this coherent light, which only cold laser has. No matter whatever other people say, point them to this article, and this is the reviews that he's been, which he's brought all together. You just look at them. There's so many. This is a gentleman that's very, very knowledgeable, stating the facts. So you don't have to run around in circles. These people say this, these people say that. When it's a totally fully controlled experiment, this will be the result. Cold laser trumps every time, no matter what power the LED is. But LED has its functions. It's got a good, the UV one in particular can kill germs. It doesn't need to be coherent. But for almost all other applications, cold laser is necessary. So this is back to a cold laser wrist, where we have the lasers shining to where the blood flows. For the other applications, for boosting our immune system and other lesser functions, we use LEDs. So LEDs have their use, but cold laser therapy really stands head and shoulders above LED for most types of applications.
I love it. If you could send me the link to that, John, and then I will put that link for people.
Okay. I'll find it to you and send it to you in due
Yeah,
course.
and then people can, those of you like me that want to read through all these things, I love it, can actually have that information. I found that so useful. So for me, the reason I want to share this is my channel's all about people just taking their power back for their own health, self-healing for themselves and their loved one.
Right.
And
Right.
you know, I would recommend that every single family have this. And if you're in a position when you can't, then this is where you want to, it's so easy to use, is, you know, club together with friends or in a community.
Exactly.
It's exactly what it's for. I mean, I'm always lending my devices out to people, which I'm really happy to do so. But equally, as a family, we use them preventively for humans and the animals as well, to try and, so much we can worry about all the things that are being done to us and put in our food, our water, our air, or we can empower ourselves to take back control of it and say, well, look, I'm going to be one step ahead of the game.
It's always best to be ahead of the disease and stop things from happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's a small fire, it's better to put it out early before it becomes a furnace.
Absolutely. I'm so grateful for all you do. Your products are fantastic. Can I invite you back again to talk about the other range of products as well? Because I know that everyone's going to be really fascinated at finding out more. So
Sure.
perhaps we could schedule that, John. So all the links that you need, as always, will be below the video. There is a discount code as well that I'll make sure is below the video. And also later on this week, it will be on my catherineedwards.live product page as well. So all the information there for people. Anything else you wanted to leave people with before we finish this one off, John?
Well, we've covered most of the bases. I know the internet is a very confusing place. There's so many contradictions and it's hard to get real facts. So my advice is to go, straight to the source. For devices for healing, you don't have to buy our devices. I personally think our devices are the best, but you don't have to. It's up to you. When you do have a device, share it with the people that you love, and even for the people you don't love, and share it with your pets. And that's a way of passing love forwards, and you'll find that your own life becomes more enriched in doing so, as well as the feeling good that you're helping these people. You find that good fortune comes your way, and not fortune as in money. Fortune just as in spiritual wealth, the friends that you make, and your whole life becomes so much better by helping others, and especially if you do that without consideration of yourself. If you don't think, well, it'll benefit me in helping this person, it's for the wrong reason. Do it because you just want to help. You just blindly want to help. That's the way you should run your life. So not just our products, but just everything in life. Just help people as you can. That's really the message I'd like to leave. Just pass the love forwards.
I love that. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And even more, thank you for producing these. It's so wonderful to have products you can trust at an affordable price. And as I said, if it's not affordable for you at this stage on an individual level, then club together. This is what this new community living is, going back to sharing resources. We don't need to hold on to everything of ours.
Absolutely.
Share these resources, pass it forward, and you'll love it. Thank you, John. Really
thanks very much thank you for inviting me. It's been a lovely chat we had.
Yeah, take care, everyone.